Welcome
Welcome
back to another episode of Happier
Hour.
Hour. I am your host, Grayson Hosell, and with me is our first ever inaugural guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Let's go.
Go ahead.
The first guest ever. Thank God. I was getting really tired of listening to just my brother talk about himself for an hour every week.
And you'll see momentarily in and out of the podcast is my nephew, Charlie. He'll be coming on. He's a golden retriever, and he's obsessed with the orange and blue ball. Also, give the audience, people don't know your name and who you are.
Oh, I'm Haylee. I'm Grayson's older sister. Do you want to make a quick appearance? See, this is the crazy part, is that he doesn't edit his videos, so anything can happen,
That's
and
right.
it has
There's
to
no
be...
cuts.
There's no cuts.
There's no
and,
cuts.
it's crazy, so...
So, like, Charlie could knock the camera over, and then we got to keep it in. So, oh, just like
there
that.
Goes the ring light. Okay, I'm just gonna introduce my husband real quick. Just come say hello.
So, this is my brother-in-law, Woodrow.
What's how are we hanging?
We just started.
We just started.
Chaotic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the kind of the par for the course for this podcast. It's just kind of chaotic as it happens to be.
Can you
That
give
sounds about right.
Charlie a bully stick so he goes away?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Bye.
Cool. Thanks, Woody.
Perfect. What a great start.
Alrighty. So you guys meet the family behind the podcast, and we do voices in this family, so you'll be hearing those throughout the pod. Cinco. That's when we do when we play games. So I did post on my Instagram story. So if you have questions for the family pod, ask them. And so let's see.
Wait, we're already getting into the questions?
Yeah, I mean, what
I
other?
just have a few things to say.
All right, hey, floor's yours, dog. That's the whole point of the podcast.
Okay, so I think you mentioned this like in one of your first podcasts, but you were saying that I thought it was crazy that you just talk for a whole hour and you don't know how to edit your podcast.
Correct.
Who starts a podcast not knowing how to edit the podcasts?
Dog, listen, I got a whole setup here. I'm getting better.
Yeah. No, yes, you are, but like, you know what I mean?
Just because listen, the people that are on podcasts, that do podcasts, they don't know how to edit. They have a team editing for them, and I don't have a team quite yet.
Okay.
All right, I'm still pulling in 1K viewers per podcast.
Hey,
episode.
we love those loyal ones.
That's right. That's right.
But anyways, I was telling him, I was like, I would love if you would have more guests on your podcast. But like, I was thinking about it. What other guest besides like a family member would willingly come on knowing that anything they say has to go, or else the whole podcast is cut?
Well, eventually I will learn how to cut things out. And like,
when's that?
I don't know. Well, I went on my friend Sid's podcast and she did all the editing herself, but like I don't know what.
Can you edit that out, Charlie, in the background?
No, it's not gonna. So for the behind the scenes folks, we have a noise suppression filter on. That's not gonna pick up because it's too far away from the microphone.
Okay.
So we'll be good. But yeah, she did all the editing herself and added in like the noises and the sound effects and stuff like that. I don't know how to do that quite yet. I'm pretty sure the software that she uses is a paid software, which I don't have the finances for quite yet. So I need to. That's what I need.
You don't got the cheddar cheese in your
I got that Skrilla in my wallet.
Hey, it's coming.
Yeah. So, any other grievances to
no,
air
that's
out
it.
before
But
we
like,
begin?
I want to hear like the audience's opinions on that, because
Dude, they're gonna roast your ass.
No, I already saw in the comments. They're like, no, we just love that he just talks for a full hour and doesn't edit anything out. And
Yeah,
like, I do too. But like, when I hear him say "nevertheless" 25 times, I gotta.
I'm not gonna edit the podcast to that extent and like cut out one single word just because I say it a bunch. That's inauthentic, broski.
Okay.
Come on. All right. First question. Here we go.
Wait, tell them what you're doing in Boise, Idaho.
Oh yeah, so I'm here.
I think I'm actually a better podcast host.
Broski, all right, whatever. So I'm here. I'm in Boise, Idaho, where my entire family lives currently, just for the weekend because it was my niece and my nephew's joint birthdays party earlier today. See, hey, the stuttering, we leave it in. But yeah, I had the opportunity. There was a cheap flight for the weekend, so I could spend time with my niece and nephew for their B-days. So that's why I'm here.
The light just turned off.
Maybe it's a Hey, that is what it is. Maybe it got unplugged. But anyways,
The ring light just turned off.
ring light turned off. Hey, speak to the camera. Speak to the camera.
Okay. Anyways, so this house that we are filming in, this is my house. Grayson actually used to live here with me. It was an awesome 6 months that he was here. We miss him all the time. He says this on one of his podcasts, but he talked about how he was a really bad roommate. He was a great roommate, I must say. We loved having him around. However, the dishes were a different story. Like, he would literally not do any of his dishes ever. And I would come home from working all day. My sweet, sweet brother was unemployed at the time. And I'd come home from working like a 10-hour shift, and like all of his dishes would be in the sink, and he'd be like, "Hey sis, what's up?" And I'm like, "What did you do all day?" So
I applied for jobs and wrestled with my self-loathing. That's what I did. Ring light's broken, folks. This is gonna be a dark episode for the YouTube folks.
I think it looks fine.
It's honestly not too
We can
bad.
scoot up a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, sorry about the technical difficulties. Like I said, it's a work in progress, this podcast.
Okay, so what are you doing in Boise?
I just said that was the whole thing. That I'm here for the birthday party.
Okay.
What is there other reasons what I'm here for?
Well, are you having a good time?
Oh yeah, like I'm having. Obviously, I enjoy spending time with the family, and oh, my parents got a puppy too. I guess that counts.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm here for that guy as well.
it's been fun. If he didn't come this weekend, you weren't gonna come till when? Like September?
September, yeah. I only get to see my family like ballpark 2-3 times a year. Typically around the holidays, I like to take. I work from home part time for my job. I'm a hybrid flex, so around the holidays, I spend about 2 weeks at home, just so I can be with family for like Christmas and New Year's, and then work out of my parents. Did I tell you when I was on a project meeting, Mom walked into the room and was like talking to me while I was on the phone with somebody?
Like while you were here?
Yeah.
Like this weekend?
No, when I was here for last Christmas, and it was
Oh,
literally
I
she
can
was
see
like
that.
giving me like peanuts in a cup, and she was like, "Hey, here's a snack." I'm like, "Dog, I'm on a project meeting."
He's like, "You're doing amazing, sweetie."
Yeah, but
That's funny.
yeah, no, I'm having a good time. It's always fun to see the family and just kind of hang out. And then are we doing anything tonight? Is there a plan or?
Well, Woody and I were gonna see if you wanted to like go downtown, hang out here.
Sure.
Whenever Grayson comes to town, love him to death, but we're like, "What do you want to do?" He's like, "I really just don't care. I don't care." I'm like,
I
"Well,
just
do you
want
want
to
to do
hang
this?
out.
Do you want to do that?" "I don't care. You guys pick." And me and Woody are like, "Just tell us which one you would prefer, and we could plan a really fun night."
Hey man,
I just clicked the button. Did I turn it on?
I'm not sure. Try talking.
Test, 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 test.
Yeah, you did. Re-click the button. Try it again.
Testing, testing.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay.
We're chilling. Yeah, hey,
Sorry, I don't know
technical
what I'm doing.
difficulties, folks. But hey, we got a whole we've already made it 10 minutes.
Grayson's the only influencer in the family, unfortunately.
Hey, Haley certainly tries. She certainly tried.
Bro, I hella tried to be like a TikToker for like a solid 2 weeks. And I would text, this is so sad. By the way, I'm like pushing 30. that's a part of the story. Anyways, but I would text Grayson like every single time I would post a TikTok and be like, "I think I found my true passion. Like I love making videos. This is the like most fun I'm having." And then my short-lived TikTok career ended when I went to record myself at the gym, because I would like do like day in the life type stuff.
Yeah.
And like I would like record myself getting up and getting ready and then going to the gym and then working out. And one of my workouts, I got my tripod set up, and like I go to a
Tripod at the gym, folks.
in Boise, Idaho, where
Yeah.
like I don't like I've never seen anybody at my gym have a tripod. But like I was doing it for like 2 weeks before and like got pretty confident with it. Anyway, I set up my tripod, and there was like a middle-aged woman, I don't know, probably like 10 feet away from me, and I started recording my workout, and she legit like pulls out her phone and like fully faces me like this and starts recording me. And I'm like not a confrontational person at all, but something inside of me like really raged that day.
Broski had a panic attack. called me.
I'm never filming myself out in public ever again. This
No.
lady came up to me, was literally recording me out in public, even though I put up a tripod in the middle of a gym, in the middle of a packed gym, busy
But like,
day.
come on! Like, if I see people recording themselves, my first thought is not to judge them. You know. But anyways, she starts filming me, and I literally like pause my video. I walk over to her, and I was like, "Hey, I want to ask you if you're okay with me filming right here." And she was like, "What?" Like, totally tried to act stupid. And I was like, "Well, I'm asking you because I just saw you record me." And she was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, this is a public place. I'm allowed to do whatever I want." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, like I totally get it, but I don't want you recording me recording myself." She's like, "What are you even recording for? Like, do you have a little TikTok account?" And at the time, I had about 50 followers. So I was like, "No, I'm just filming for myself." And then literally never picked up the camera again. So that dream was shot.
But
killed.
yeah, I keep telling her to get back on the horse because it is fun to like
It is
film
fun.
content.
Yeah.
Like especially like when you have a post do well, it gives you it's like a little adrenaline rush.
Yeah, I never have felt that, but actually, when I like did the Bachelor
Yeah.
thing of you, I don't know. I feel like my only videos that pop off have Grayson in them, so
Hey man,
I need
whatever
to
you
find
gotta do,
my
whatever you
own
gotta do.
niche. Okay, now we can get
We're
into
ready for
questions.
questions now. All right.
But you got a lot.
I did. Yeah, I got like at least at this point in time, I've gotten at least like 70, and I'll refresh. Guarantee you, there's more.
I
Yeah.
also posted on my story. I have a private Instagram. The only people who follow me are like people who know me. And I posted if anybody wanted to ask me questions. I got one question. What are you doing in the club?
All right. So the very first question we got, and it's a softball question. Favorite memory of each other? That's classic, like a classic sibling one.
Okay, you go first. Any time to think.
I don't know. Well, let's see. Favorite memory. I mean, your wedding was a lot of fun. I that was more or less like favorite memory of like with not favorite, but like one of the more better memories within the fam, just because it was a lot of fun to see the entire family all in one place. But I guess like favorite memory, man. Um, your speech at the my sister's very smart. She got what was the thing you got in college? We were like the number one in your class or whatever
Yeah, I was like valedictorian of my major.
in college, and she had to like give a speech. That was cool.
Period.
That was one of those
That was your
things.
favorite memory? Come on.
Well, because like the thing about me, I'm very competitive, and I always wanted to outcompete my sisters growing up because I'm the youngest child, and I thrive off my parents' attention, and so like that was the one thing that I was like, all right, respect. I'm never gonna be able to beat that. So I that was probably maybe not favorite, but like coolest memory of you, where I was like, all right, you're top dog, G.
Yeah, I've been top dog. Okay, so one of my favorite memories. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Grayson followed me to college because he was just trying to live in
Oh
my
yeah.
footsteps. Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't know if this is where we're going, but this is another fun story. But go ahead.
Are you gonna
No,
go?
no, go ahead. Say whatever it is, and then if it's the same story, then we're chilling.
So, anyways, so basically, I was a senior when you were a freshman, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And Grayson's dorms blew up, like where he lived.
Fun story.
And um, being his sister, I was the first one to be like, "Hey, like I have an extra room in my house. Like you should just come live with me. It'll be super fun." It was just for the summer, so like what, like 2 or 3 months?
It was. I think it was. This is what I was gonna say too. This is. I think it was exactly 6 weeks where you were like, "Hey, I just have a roof. Like you can stay at my house." Pretty much, her and all of her roommates had moved out at this time, so it was just me sleeping on like a futon in her living room in an empty 4 bed, whatever, 4 bed, 3 bed house. In college because I was basically homeless at the time.
No, you literally was homeless.
Yeah, so that was pretty chill. that was a very very fun memory too.
Yeah, it was fun. We got to live together. I got to like it was like transitioning from my senior year and I was moving to Utah, but like I had like another, 2 months left of the summer. So we got to spend solid 2 months together. Super
Yeah,
fun.
and college was cool because and for those of you who don't know this, I have basically been a nepo baby my entire life in the
No,
sense that
literally.
Haley has gotten me almost every job that I've had, except for like my
I've gotten
engineering.
him every job that
That's
he's
not
had
true.
up
Not
until
every Drew.
engineering.
Up until
And I like was the one to support your TikTok career and literally be like, bro, keep posting.
yeah, that's true. I
So
mean,
basically his career is thanks to me.
like my first job at 16, I got because Haley worked at that place before me, and
Yes.
then the 2
Pump
jobs
it
I got
up.
in college, she was quite literally I was her replacement when I was working as a receptionist at the political science office, and then
Yes.
the restaurant that I worked at in college, she was friends with somebody that worked there, and this was the kind of restaurant where you had to have like an in order to get like an interview. So that was also pretty clutch. And then we literally worked together when I was
I like literally
when I-
trained him.
yeah, when I was unemployed post college, and Haley worked 2 jobs along with her career for a hot minute, and she was like, "Yeah, we're hiring. Come and work." And we would like close the restaurant together. Like, well, I think one of the other questions that I got are like, "How well do you 2 get along?" We had to get along well enough in order to live together at 2 different times in life, and also work together
Yeah.
at least like once or twice a week for 3 months before I moved.
Yeah, so I would say we get along super well.
Yeah.
Like we can just, it's like, any sibling relationship where it's the best because anything you say, they can't stay mad for too long.
Hmm.
Like with a friend, like I would never say something to like a friend like I would say it to my sibling.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And it's like our family's very, very
Also, are you
close.
gonna crack a brewski or
Yeah, I might.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, hey,
I'm
you
with
guys can't.
child,
Yeah,
so
you guys
I
can't see, but Haley has a cooking a baby in her stomach right now, so
yeah.
she's enjoying the NA beers, non-alcoholic beers. For those of you at home that don't know what that means.
Yeah. So cheers,
Tasty.
dog. First
Yeah. Cheers.
podcast for me.
Cheers. First guest on the
We'll see how I
podcast.
am on the mic.
We'll see how it turns out, and if this works out, I'll hopefully record maybe another family podcast tomorrow, and then we'll.
I think you should try and get mom and dad on.
I would love to, and also have Kylie on as well, and maybe like Ridge for like 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. And then from here on out, it's low budget and low maintenance, but
If you are wanting a guest, you just have to make sure they're okay with like not
Yeah.
editing anything out. So just find somebody who doesn't take themselves too seriously.
yeah, and that was one thing when I went on Sid's podcast. She was like, "Don't worry, like if you say anything, like I'm gonna edit the whole thing, so like I can go back through." And I think there was only one part that she edited out, and it wasn't even bad. It was just because like there was like a stutter, there was like an issue with the audio. So yeah, no,
Oh wait, so did I say my favorite memory?
yeah, living together when you let me into your house because I was homeless in college
Trying to think of some more memories here.
here in Idaho.
Yeah. Okay, so then he lived with me in Nevada, and then I moved to Utah. You visited me in Utah, right?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
did we do? I have
We
the
went-
memory of a flea. I
we
like
went-
don't remember anything ever.
We went snowboarding. Oh, that was another fun memory. So my sister got married on my birthday, which is
Oh
funny.
yes.
Which is I think also why the wedding was so much fun, is because there was multiple reasons to celebrate.
Yes, and we like went out the night before, and I made
yeah,
it like
It was fun. It was. I am not one to steal the spotlight.
no, he's not, and I'm the one to give the spotlight. Like if it's like somebody's birthday, like I want them to feel special, and like I want to do all the things, and like it was the night before our wedding. We all went out, super non-traditional. My husband and I stayed out till like 1 a.m. partying with everybody because
Yeah.
everybody's from around town. Anyways, but we just made it a point. Like at midnight, everybody sang at the bar to my brother for his birthday. It was super fun.
Yeah, no, it was a really good time. I'm trying to think of like childhood memories when we were like kids.
I have one.
Oh, here
So,
we go.
so my brother told on me in high school.
Oh yeah, this is
and I
this
got
is the one I was
and
thinking
it ended with me getting my door literally taken off the hinges. So one thing about my parents is they were pretty strict in high school, and I was a rebel. Unlike Grayson, he was very much
reserved, golden child.
reserved.
My best friend growing up was quite literally the local pastor's kid. We would
Yeah.
like volunteer in the summer.
Yeah, no, like literally sweet angel boy, and I was like the complete opposite. Like, could not have been a worse child. Anyways, I come home one day from school and my door, like, I don't have a door on my hinges. And I'm like, what the hell? And one thing about my parents is like, they would do things and then they wouldn't say anything about it, and it was almost like you would come home and see your punishment, and then you would have to be like, okay, what did I do? And then it was almost like they wanted me to go talk to them about it, you know? Because like I came home being like, why is my door off the hinges?
Yeah, and so essentially what happened was, and this is
What had happened was
this is warranted, okay?
No, it's not,
It's
bro.
warranted.
You
Listen,
never rat on your
ask for
freaking
permission.
sibling.
Ask for permission, okay? So basically, I was what, 12 ballpark, maybe 13,
Dog,
14.
he's a snitch.
I did snitch on my sister because my parents were like, "Hey, if you have people over, you need to tell us." And my sister had a handful of
He
friends
was so
over,
not chill, guys.
and I was like, "You know what?
he's still not
She's
chill.
breaking the law, and mother must be warned. Must be warned."
He
So,
literally told on me for having a boy over in my room.
hey, dog,
Like, come
follow the rules.
on.
Follow the rules if you're gonna live in that household.
Come on. And then like I get home and I'm like, okay, what did I do? This is so weird. And I like literally had to put my tail between my legs and go ask my mom like, why do I not have a door?
she's like, well, actually, because your little brother saw you with a boy, and I just think it's crazy that you would do that and have your little brother home.
And I'm just like, oh my god.
But yeah, so apologies for that. But
Oh my gosh. Okay, remind me at the end of this episode if I can find it. Dang it, I forgot to do this, but I have a letter that I wrote you after you crashed your car.
oh yeah, that
And
was awesome.
I was gonna have it and read it on the pod, so
Oh,
I'll try and
jeez.
go find it later.
Yeah, that was
Charlie.
that was a real disappointing moment in my life when I
No.
crashed my car into a tree. Everyone, Haley, for one, the people in my family, I'm not going to name names, they tend to overreact and very emotionally.
Name names.
No, I'm not going to.
Just name names.
Literally everybody except me and my dad. And so
Homie talks about anxiety on his podcast once a week.
So-
he talks about how he doesn't overreact.
so I crashed my car into a tree, and when I got home, Haley was like, she thought I died. It's that you would have thought I like almost lost my life in this car accident in which I just fender bendered a tree.
Hold on, I have to take a
So,
break real
but
quick.
that was fun. Haley's taking a quick break to go to the bathroom. Like
No,
we said,
I'm not. I'm just putting the balls away.
oh, she's managing her son Charlie quickly.
Okay, next question.
Next question. Let's see.
Sorry, I'm like literally going off on tangents.
No, that's the whole. Hey, this whole podcast is tangents. How would you describe your aesthetic versus my aesthetic?
My aesthetic?
Yeah, what is your aesthetic? One thing about Haley, and this kind of doesn't really relate to the question at all, but one thing that always pissed me off when she did content creation, when she did her lifestyle stuff, she would, as soon as she records, as soon as she hits
I got
record,
that voice.
she's got that influencer voice, and it pisses me off so much because I'm like, dude, just talk normal.
I
People will
couldn't.
like your personality. And she'd be like, literally, she'd be like, all right, we're chilling, whatever. I'm having a good time. My name's Haley. And then she'd go, come with me when I go to the store to make something different than what I did yesterday. And I'm like, dude, you don't talk like that.
I don't know why that comes out. It's just because like right when I get like a camera on me, I just feel
Dude, you've been doing fine and you're on
yeah,
camera this whole
because
time.
I'm with you, broski. But when I'm literally recording by myself, getting like recorded at the gym, like I don't know how to act, you know.
That's fair. That's fair.
But
Anyways, your aesthetic versus my aesthetic. What would you say your aesthetic is?
my aesthetic is
Yeah.
just genuinely basic. Like I like just like wearing a basic shirt. Wait, is this like style, like clothing?
Or just like anything, like your house. Like,
oh,
how would you just like your? I wouldn't say your style is basic. You're very
I
decorative.
would say it looks. I like to have an expensive look, but everything in my house is very inexpensive.
I would say that your aesthetic is like clean. Like you've always had like a clean house. Everything here it like matches and is orderly in the sense that like all your photograph frames
There's no
are the same.
like words on the wall like
Yeah.
every person is welcome here or leave your boots at the mat. Like I
Yeah,
don't know, it's
yeah.
not like that, but it's all cohesive, but it's very like inexpensive.
Yeah. No, I'd say
Hobby
so.
Lobby coded.
But also like how do you think you'll like? What aesthetic do you think you'll take for the kiddo? Like when he, like, are you gonna dress him up? Are you gonna dress him down? Is he gonna be just
I
whatever?
think he'll be dressed very cool.
Hmm.
Like,
Okay, what is cool? What's the cool then? Because the cool is the aesthetic in your mind.
so like cool is like he'll wear clothes like an adult would wear clothes. Like I would like an outfit like you would wear, like a little button up and things like that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Not like Mickey Mouse shirt with like Mickey Mouse shorts. Like
You don't think you'll mix any of that into the
I'm
into
sure I
the
would. I don't
routine?
know, dude. I don't know how to be a mom yet.
Fair.
But I just like I think he'll just wear very like normal,
Hmm.
cool stuff, beanies, hats,
Hmm.
Vans.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. It like when I think of like you and Woody, like your guys' combined aesthetic, it's very much like, you know, Vans, like maybe
Yeah, it's
like
very just
a cool
normal.
shirt, yeah, something like that. Like honestly, like when Kylie had Ridge, kind of similar in the sense that like she could dress him up and did dress him up when she wanted, but it was always like a cute outfit. It was never something
Yeah,
that was
he like
like,
her aesthetic is like Old Navy.
yeah, which is I that's exactly what I would say my aesthetic
He will
is.
find any sort of ball to bring
Yeah,
us.
that's okay. Charge more.
Just ignore him.
Nah. As far as my aesthetic goes, I would say very minimal. I don't wear crazy clothes. Like I'm very much like plain clothes
Yeah,
type
like
beat.
basic.
Very basic, plain t-shirts. Nothing. I'm starting to get into like fashion a little more in the sense that like I'll wear jorts every now and then. Um, but that's pretty much it. As far as decorations go, I don't have like
No, oh my god.
I don't have any decorations.
You guys do not want to see Grayson's apartment. Like it really is Navy sheets type
It's not.
aesthetic.
I don't have navy
Bro,
sheets.
you had a green rug that looked like you got it
Yeah,
from like
I do have a green shag rug because I
it's
thought it was going to be thicker and like more of something that Misa would enjoy like rolling around in. It's the nastiest thing I have, and I was like, all right, well, I already bought it, so I might as well just like put it out.
yeah, and all of his furniture is like things that have been given to him from like other family members.
Yeah, I'm very much like hand me downs and like free things. I will always take and always use. Chore laying down. But yeah, that's kind of my aesthetic. Like free or as cheap as I can be because I would rather spend money on things that I find important. Like
Like
fly.
what do you even spend money on? You literally don't spend your money.
Well, like I that's not true.
Well, I was trying to think about it. Like
I spend
what do you
money.
you don't go on trips, you
I
don't go to concerts.
I came
Ebby,
here.
ebba, ebba.
Listen, I came home for the weekend. I just bought a flight to
Oh,
Amsterdam.
this was like okay, these are all things that you literally just did.
I just bought a flight to Amsterdam. As far as clothes go, I get a lot of my clothes either like PR or hand me downs. Um, honestly, I spend my money on food. Like
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
really cook for myself all that often. I when I do, it's very minimal in the sense that it's like protein, veggie, and that's it.
Or like chili mac.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I was living here, I made like chili mac for like
Yeah, he
3 weeks in
wonders
a
why he
row.
has like IBS and he literally eats like chili mac or like
Yeah.
frozen food that he warms up. But I
Yeah.
think that's like any guy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Any unmarried like single man,
Yeah,
I
any
feel like
like
doesn't.
bachelor pad type like um appetite where it's like I will get the thing I spend money on is like Uber Eats. Like if I want a burrito,
Oh,
I'll get a burrito.
I've never used that.
Ah, see, I love Uber Eats. That's my go-to. Um let's see. Who had a more embarrassing teen phase?
Ooh, probably me.
Yeah, dog. What do you mean probably? That's definitely you. I didn't do anything when I was
Grayson
a
like
teen.
lived like the most perfect teen life. I, on the other hand,
Perfect.
did not.
I wouldn't say it was perfect. I would say it was very um like
It was literally perfect. Weren't you like homecoming king and shit?
yeah, but like
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was like minimal
Also,
trouble.
we went to like a high school where there was like
There w-
100 kids.
yeah, so it was like there was like 500 kids, so it was really you didn't have to compete with many people when it came to like sports and academics and then like being it's like
I
somewhat
would
well
literally
known.
always say like, so we went to like a very small high school, but Grace and I were like both athletes of the year.
Hmm.
But I would always say to people who would ask, like they're like, oh, like that's a, like you got like a really like high award in the sports or in the school,
Yeah.
I would literally be like, yeah, I'm the best of the worst.
It
But
wasn't
we're the worst of the best. So like if we like were to go to a D1 school and if I were to play like soccer, I
Hmm.
wouldn't be the best on the team,
Yeah.
you know, because we went to like to too small of a school.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we were like the best of the worst. It was just not that large of a pool to begin with. So it's like you're taking like such a small, like my high school football team, we had like 24 kids. So it was like none of them,
And everybody is like cousins and family member.
well,
Well,
somewhat.
my
Uh,
daddy's my uncle type
yeah.
vibe.
So yeah, like in that sense, it was like it was easier to stand out, not saying that we did, but it was easier to stand out because there just wasn't a ton of people to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like teen phase goes, you would like party and like go out and get
Yeah.
in trouble, but I like
No, literally, I would party in high school, which is
eh,
like so weird to like
think
look
about
back
now.
on
Yeah,
because
it had to
I'm an
be so
audiologist
cringy.
and I like see patients of all ages, and when I see 14, 15, 16-year-olds come in my clinic, I'm like, there's no way I was doing what I was doing at this age. Like when they come and sit down in my office, I'm like, oh my god, it's just like horrendous to think about the things that we were getting into at such a young age.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I was quite a big partier in high school. Fun fact, we had like a really big like shop
Oh
type.
yeah, this is a good story.
Well, like what's the word? It's not.
It's a
We
det-
called
it's
it
a,
shop,
a
but what's
detached garage is the
but like
technical term.
huge, like really large, like you could fit like a huge like trailer in it.
You could fit like a boat in it.
Bigger. It was really big.
The garage door itself was like maybe 20 by 20, if that is like some sort of size
Anyways, it
approximation.
was like a huge like warehouse looking type thing. And I somehow, some way convinced my dad to let me throw a party. And he was like, okay, like you can throw a party, but like me and my buddies want to sit outside and kind of man the door and just make sure like you guys aren't drinking, make sure you guys are like minding, you know, just like having like a good old get together. And I'm like, yeah, 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 totally. And me and all my friends like put tarps up, like black tarps, and we like splattered all the walls with like neon paint.
Yeah.
And this was like in the era of like when people would post like those long ass things on Twitter, like house party vibes, like
Yeah.
come and bring it, you like everyone you know, like, and
Yeah.
it's like a million emojis, and like they would literally post the address on Twitter.
Fresno Addies.
Yeah, Fresno.
Fresno
Like
Addies.
it was like a thing in Fresno. We lived in like a smaller town, like outside
Outside
of
of
Fresno.
Fresno.
But
Jinx.
but anyways, um, yeah, and so I invited like everybody from my like grade, and obviously we're all drinking and partying like secretly behind our parents' backs. And my dad and his friends, like all of my girlfriends' dads, were literally sitting outside like
Just having a
around a
bonfire.
fire,
Yeah.
like
Drinking
just like
beer.
watching all these kids stumble in.
Yeah.
And my address got leaked on like one of like the Twitter accounts, and literally like 500 people showed up.
Yeah. It was.
And my dad kind of let it go for, I don't know, like an hour or two. Like it got pretty crazy. And then he like went to come and find me. And I'll never forget, like, my friends were like, Haley, your dad's at the door. Like, you need to come outside the party. And I remember opening up the shop door, and it was just like smoke, like from all like the weed that people were smoking just blew out into his face. It was literally a movie. And
Yeah.
I was like, I did.
I
And he's
remember.
like, we're shutting this shit down. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
I remember being 13 and
Yeah, Grayson was probably inside with his binoculars, like, oh my god.
no, funny enough, so
What were you doing? Spying?
no, so
Wishing you were in there?
no, I remember
Judging?
no, I remember
Writing in
this
your
night.
diary?
All right. All right. I remember what
Dear
happened.
diary, my sister is a bitch.
So my dad invited his buddies to like hang out outside to make sure none of the shenanigans would like carry over into like the actual property. And so I invited I think two of my friends to come over, and we were like hanging out. We were playing on the PlayStation 2, in our living room growing up.
It was just like
we were playing Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Fighter.
Bro, we had such a different childhood. It's so
We-
scary.
We were playing Dragon Ball Z on the PlayStation 2, and I remember the next morning I went into the shop, the detached garage, to like see like
Just knew because you're a freaking spy.
no, that after everybody was gone, it was fine. I just wanted to see like
The damage.
the damage, and there was literally like alcohol, like shooter. There was like shooters on the ground, and like I saw lighters, and I was like, dude, you guys terrorized this place.
We were
What the
like
hell?
16. No, it was so bad.
Yeah.
I didn't really get it. I don't think I got in trouble for that.
I mean,
Because like they allowed it to happen.
yeah,
And
they.
it just got out of hand.
I think more or less they were just happy that
It was there.
It was there, and they were involved in the sense that like they knew of like the people that were coming and going. They knew that like if they had to shut it down, they could.
Yeah, but then Dad was like, he shut it down because like 30-year-olds were coming.
Oh,
Like
that's
from
weird.
Fresno, like freaking with like full liquor bottles, just like rolling up.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, because you were inside.
Yeah, I was inside playing
Telling my
Dragon Ball
POV.
Z.
Anyways, next question.
Next question. Let's see. What are some things you absolutely hate that I do? And then I gotta answer
Oh my
some things
gosh,
that
I have so
I
many.
hate that you do.
Do you have a lot? Because I do.
Wait till I begin.
We'll go band for band.
Okay, band for band. We can go band for band.
I got 10,000 in the spring. Oh.
Okay, one thing that I hate that he does, and this just happened today, is he whistles a lot.
Yeah, I do whistle a
It's
lot.
so annoying. Like,
Yeah.
we'll be in the car and he just starts whistling. Anyways, that's a small one. So, I also hate that you, like,
Is
talk...
your microphone on?
Test, test, test. Yeah.
Let me see the green. Oh yeah, you're chilling. All right. Sorry. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Where was I?
Whistling.
Yeah, whistling. That's a small one, though. Something that I also hate that you do is just, like, talk so lowly of yourself.
Oh yeah, this is a common one. Yeah.
But like we do it as a family, like we just like kind of rip on each other, rip on ourselves. But like you just I don't know, it just makes me sad. I feel like you shouldn't talk so poorly about yourself.
All right.
Like I get that it's a bit sometimes on the TikTok, but yeah, I hate that.
My
Your
thing that
turn.
I don't like about Haley is that she embellishes stories, and we get this from our father because he does the same thing.
I get this. I'm the only embellisher.
She'll
This
so
has been a problem my whole life.
for example, she said 500 people showed up
No,
to our
literally
detached garage.
there was.
It was
bro.
not 500
yes,
people.
There fucking was.
Maximum there was maybe 180, which is
Shut up.
nothing to shy away from, but 500 is the capacity of that
Damn.
building. If you
Damn, I
stack
really
and I didn't say anything about it, but the thing
Yeah,
is,
he's right. There was a 500 actually.
you could stack 500 people in that building, it would not be able to hold that capacity.
Okay,
She is an
whatever
embellisher.
who's counting. Yeah, I'm an embellisher.
So that's one of the
But
things
like
I
that's
hate.
the thing about me is like I feel like if there's a story to tell, like I like to tell it in a manner
The
that's
dramatics. She
captivating
needs
and I'm
the drama.
dramatic.
She needs the
But
drama.
we get this from my father. Like literally, he is
He was like,
he's embellisher number
what
one.
was one of the biggest embellishments? that
Bro,
he's
I
done?
grew up our whole lives thinking he was a professional surfer in
Yeah,
Bali.
he did grow up surfing, but he was never a professional.
He was never a professional.
Yeah,
And he, like, I literally would tell everybody that he was a professional. Is somebody here?
I don't think so.
No.
And
I asked my mom, like, probably a year ago, and mind you, I'm almost 30 years old. I grew up my whole life telling people this story.
Yeah.
And she was like, Haley, what?
Yeah.
He has probably surfed, like, he's never done a competition.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
His embellishment is so bad that like anytime he tells us a story, I immediately have to go to my mom and be like, is literally any of
And
this
she's
true?
like, no.
And she's like, nah, if it is true, like for example,
1/8 of it is true.
Yeah, 1/8 of it. Like, what was that one time where he was telling a story and then I was like, oh yeah, and then Air Force One flew over and he was like, yeah, and I was like, no, I was joking. That didn't happen. Like
You're
yeah.
good at doing that.
Yeah.
I don't like calling him out because, like, I get it. I'm an embellisher too.
Oh, I mean,
I don't like straight up lie, but I like if like I was studying for 5 hours, I'm gonna say I was studying for 17 hours straight.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like little things that don't really hurt anybody.
They don't hurt anybody.
His were straight up lies.
Yeah, some of his were a bit too extreme. Like I remember him telling me that like he was like He told me he was like a cab driver for this like really rich
Like,
family that owned
why?
like a
Why?
chocolate
Like,
factory, and I was
why?
like, dude, that's literally what it was. We were talking about Hershey, and he was like, oh yeah, I was actually like a cab driver for like the Hershey family at one point. And I was like, dude, that's not true.
But the thing about my dad is everybody who talks to him just loves him, and it's because
Yeah,
he's good at like,
he's very conversational.
yeah,
He can
super
talk to anybody.
conversational,
Talk to
and
anybody.
you know, like if you tell him like you're from North Carolina, he'll tell you a story about how he's been there, even if it's not true.
Yeah, even if it was actually
And
North
I
Dakota, and
respect that.
yeah, he does his best to like relate to people.
Okay, wait. Do you have any more things that you hate about me?
Yeah, oh yeah, and everybody in my family does this. People in my family, they,
Say names.
you and mom,
Okay,
for sure, and
thanks.
sometimes
That's all I
Kylie,
needed.
you guys clear your throat in the most obnoxious manner, and you don't stop. They literally go, and it's like, dude, please just clear your throat.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
it's
know
pissing
why.
me off.
Especially after I eat like something cold. It's like that for an hour straight.
They literally don't stop. And like my mom, bless her heart, like if she has something in her throat, she will cough for the next 30 minutes until it's gone. And it's like, dude, drink some water, please, because I can't keep listening to you go. It's like, dude,
Yeah, no, like hers is bad.
that's a big one.
Yeah.
You got any more for me?
Hmm. I think so, but I just like I'm drawing a blank right
Yeah,
now.
that is. I've noticed it happens a lot with the podcast. Like I'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna bring this up on the next
Then you
episode,"
forget.
and then it completely blanks.
Yeah. All right, next one.
Next one. Let's see. Um, let's see. Who is the favorite child amongst the parents?
Grayson.
I think it's changed.
100%.
I think it's changed. When we were children,
Actually,
absolutely.
yeah, I think it has changed too. They don't really like this whole era of you.
Yeah,
Like he came home with a nose ring, and you
parents
would have
didn't
thought he
like that.
killed someone.
Yeah, parents didn't like that one. When I was a kid, for sure, I was the golden child, as I like to
Yes.
say. Like I stayed out of trouble. I did all the right things, and then when I got to after
When
college,
you were like following the straight and narrow, you were
yeah,
like their favorite. But
yeah,
now that you have your own thing and
yeah, and
it's
I'm on the other
different
side of the
off of like
state.
the norm of what my parents think a life
Yeah,
means, yeah,
I would say
I'm their favorite.
it's split between you and Kylie pretty evenly, just because A, you live so close to them. B, not only does Kylie live close, but she's also with the kiddos. Like they just love being grandparents so much that like
Yeah.
part
I
of
think
like
Woody's the favorite.
actually, yeah, I think
My
Woody's the
husband is the
favorite. Yeah.
favorite.
Woody, much like my
Totally
dad,
the favorite. Oh, I
Woody
have a
is one of
story.
those people where it's like anybody, he'll talk to anybody. Like
No, my
he's
husband
so
is like
conversational.
literally the
Like
best human you will ever meet.
nicest guy ever. Like when I remember like
Yeah,
the
wait,
way
tell the story that didn't Woody.
oh yeah, so
Well, no, I guess not that part, but
what do you mean?
well, like it's
Like me giving a
yeah,
speech at
no,
your
no, no,
wedding?
no, not about the speech, but like kind of give the gist of what you were talking about in the speech.
Oh yeah,
Bryson gave like the most killer speech at my wedding. Everybody was dying laughing. Like he must do stand-up comedy. That's something I'm sad about is I feel like this podcast, like you could really do a lot with like comedy on it.
yeah, it's turned into something where I, instead of like being funny about things, I just kind of talk about my life, and that's just not the comedic take that I want to do. But it's hard when you don't
I
have.
mean, that's a good take. Like I think people want to hear about your life,
Sure.
but maybe not every single episode.
Yeah, I think incorporating guests can definitely help with that, because it cuts between the like, well, this is what I did last
Or
week.
like having like somebody else who's interested in comedy on.
Yeah,
and just like
exactly.
going back and forth.
Like the podcast with me and Sid. Sid does stand up, and she's very funny, and she's good with like riffing bits. And so that was like a really, in my opinion, funny podcast, because we could just like bounce off each other and do like, I would say a joke and she would continue it, and it was a lot of like yes anding. But what were we talking about?
Well, what are we talking about? That's one thing about us.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, who is the parents?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think they for sure don't have
love
like a
Woody.
set favorite.
Oh, I know
but
what I was gonna say.
What's that?
So one thing about me, my sister, and my mom is like we do overreact. My mom specifically
Yeah.
has been like this our
Oh,
entire lives. So literally just last week, my mom. So this is what I mean. Like, this all goes back to Woody being the favorite. So my mom texts my husband, and like they're having a conversation back and forth. And Woody, like, eventually he was like, "Dude, your mom's like texting me right now about how she's checked Grayson's location and his location hasn't moved in a day and 24 hours. So she went and checked his bank account, and his bank account is drained."
Yeah.
And my mom is texting Woody like, "Hey Woody, like I don't want Grayson to think I'm crazy, so can you like reach out to him and like see if he responds to you because he's not responding to me, and his location hasn't moved and his bank account's drained and I'm really worried about him."
Mind you.
And my mother is texting my husband,
Yeah.
and Woody's like, "Bro, can you talk to your mom or your brother?"
Mind you, I am in the exact location that I told her I would be for the entire
Yeah, he was like
weekend.
at an Airbnb. Like,
Yeah,
come
and I was
on.
like, "Hey, I'm actually going to this place for the entire weekend, and I'm gonna be hanging out with friends." And then she heard that,
What?
saw that,
Why
and
does
was
she have
still like,
access to your bank account, bro?
"I
Aren't you
don't
like
know."
26?
Oh no, it's because with the why does she have access? I'm trying to think. It's for a legit reason. It's because my billing address is still linked to their house.
Okay, so she
Yeah.
can just log on and see what you're spending money on?
No, I
That's
think
wavy.
I don't know why she. Yeah, we need to. I need to cut her
Yeah,
off.
that's
We need to
weird.
have that conversation. But yeah, she saw that my bank account hit 0, which was an accident because I accidentally got charged for 3 Amsterdam flight tickets instead of just 1. And she was like, "Hey, what happened?" But I didn't respond for 2 hours because
But
I was
like
off
also
my
like
phone.
that's so weird of her to like check in. I don't know. She
Yeah,
just cares, you know.
she
So
she's a helicopter parent in the nicest way possible.
yeah, like she tries to distance us, but she has all of our locations, and
Yeah,
she
and she
literally watches them like
checks religiously. Yeah,
But anyways, it kind of has like something to do with the story. Probably like 3 or 4 months ago, Grayson's
yeah.
location.
This is what I was gonna say. You should say the story.
Grayson went out to like an
This one was
influencer
crazy.
event and was like texting me like throughout the night, and I could tell he was super, super hammered.
As it happens.
Like he was really hammered, and he was posting like weird shit on his like Instagram story too that I was just like, oh god, he's like really drunk right now. And eventually he just like stopped texting me, which I was like, whatever, didn't think anything of it. And I just for some reason woke up at like 1 or 2 a.m., which in New York it's like 2 hours ahead of here. And I checked his location. He was like literally in the middle of a forest. And
She's embellishing.
I'm not. I wish I
Go
would have
ahead.
screenshotted
Hey,
it.
go ahead. Go
Deadass.
ahead. Tell the story, and I'll tell you exactly what happened, word
Okay,
for word, bar
So
for bar.
I went on Find Friends and I'm zooming in and it's literally just trees. There's no buildings. That is where his location is. Why would I make that up? I screenshotted it and sent it to Kylie. You know what? If I can find this right now, I will be vindicated. Is that the right word?
Yeah. And
Hell yeah.
and so this is what happened when they thought that I was in the middle
Hold
of the
on.
forest.
No.
Go ahead. Finish the story. They thought to call NYPD and report me as like either murdered or missing.
So I called him
Because-
probably 17 times.
Dog, it's
And
5
his phone-
a.m. and I'm
his phone would go
asleep.
straight to voicemail. So what do? I text my sister and I'm like, tell her the situation. I'm like, hey, you up? And of course my sister's up because she has 2 kids. And she was like, oh my god, like this is really bad. Like, what do we do? And I'm like, I think we have to contact the NYPD.
Mind you, I'm a 25-year-old man capable of handling my own.
Okay, like God forbid you have sisters that care about you.
So this is exactly what happened. Yes,
If
I
I
went to an
find this,
event.
bro, and I'm vindicated.
I went to an event and I got hammered, and I was staying at my buddy's place who lives in Queens, and it's quite literally an apartment complex, and in the entry point,
Shut the hell up. I have everything.
At the
I have
entry
the
point-
receipts, folks.
at the entry point, okay, there are a couple of trees, and on Google Maps it looks like a football field's worth of trees.
Bro.
Dog, show the camera. There's 3 trees.
Wait, does this have like weird information on it? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It just has your location at the time. That is what we saw, folks.
Mind you, on that Apple Maps screenshot,
he's in the trees.
There's 3 trees on Apple Maps. Okay,
So,
and she goes, "Oh yeah, he got kidnapped and is dead." And
Oh wait, here's some more. This is
oh
really
my, dude, they took screenshots of the facility. They
This is
know
really
my
funny.
buddy lives in this part of New York.
No, we didn't know because you didn't tell us that you were staying there. Which you
my
don't need
goodness.
to, but like we just don't trust you when you get super hammered and like your location's in the
I'm 25. I can handle my own. I'm an adult.
Okay, so what did my sister and I do? So there was an address associated with his location. So we look up where he's at
And
and like
it's
literally
exactly where
these are
my
the
friend lives.
screenshots, you guys.
It's
Hold on.
exactly where my friend lives. For those of you on audio
wait.
only, she's showing the camera
Okay,
the
screenshot 1.
the screenshots of the place that
Screenshot
was.
2. We're like, "Oh my god, he's on top of this building."
Oh my god.
Screenshot 3, we're like, "Wait, I think there is an apartment. Wait, those look like the trees."
Yeah. No.
It's all at like 3 a.m. It was so
Yeah.
funny.
And I was
Looking back now, it's funny.
I was dead asleep. My phone had died. I was safe. I was at that location. I was just in my buddy's apartment. But yeah,
So hilarious.
what was even the question that prompted this?
Who knows? Next one.
Any funny stories about regarding vacationing as a family? I think I've talked about this before, and the first one that comes to mind is going to the desert. So, like we talked about, we had a trailer growing up. We would do like our instead of going on like flight vacations where you have to like take a flight somewhere or
Our
like
family like rarely did that.
yeah, we would camp a lot, but we wouldn't do like tent camping. We would do like glamping in the sense that like we had a trailer and a truck and we
Which
would
looking
go.
back now, I think that is like the coolest childhood, but for some reason I didn't love it as a kid.
Well, it's one of those things where like you don't realize how cool and fun the things you're doing are when you're in it because you're so young and you're like, you know what?
I just
Like
wish I would have appreciated it more. 'Cause,
yeah,
like,
for
that's
sure.
so like unique and fun.
Yeah, it was a lot
We'd
of
ride.
fun.
We had like 5 quads, like
Yeah.
4-wheelers, and we'd take those and just yeah.
And we would go to like the desert and ride the quads, or we would go camping at like a lake about an hour from where we lived because our friends that we would camp with all the time, they would go up once or twice, maybe like honestly, we camped a lot when we were kids. I would say like 3 times a year at
Yeah.
least. And so a lot of our vacationing is around like spending a weekend like in a trailer and sitting around a fire. As far as like specific memories. I remember. Do you remember we brought our bikes to Shaver
I have
when
a
it
good memory.
when it rained like crazy? Do you remember that?
Keep going. No, not really.
Oh, I remember it literally rained like it had to be like 3 or 4 inches. And now as an engineer, I'm looking back at this, thinking back as a kid, like this campsite had such poor like drainage because like it was literally like a foot of water at this campsite all throughout the campsite. I'm like, dude, where were the storm sewers?
Don't remember this.
You don't remember this?
This is your favorite memory? As a
Well, I
childhood?
just remember like us being locked in the are you
The quads where I hit you.
no, I was gonna say when we were doing Sims and mom passed out.
Oh yeah, that's a really scary story.
No, the reason why this was one of my favorite memories is because it rained so much and we brought our bikes thinking we were going to bike. We had to stay inside and play games the entire time and play like marbles. We have a fun game in our family that's like, it's like the game of aggravation for those of you who know, but we play it like a custom family style. And we each have our own boards and custom marbles and we call it marbles and we play it all the time. But yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Mine was one time we were camping in the desert and we were riding quads and we were both kids at the time. Grayson was riding in front of me, I was riding behind him. And like if you've ever worn a dirt bike helmet before, like right here there's like a part that goes out and it like looks like there's holes in it, like there's mesh. And I was riding my quad as a kid and I put that I like pulled that part up and I was like, let's see if I can see out of this mesh. And I like
That's
put
why
it
you hit me?
Bro, I was riding with my helmet. I like pulled way up, looking out of the mesh like this. And Grayson had like braked in front of me, and I was like couldn't see out of the mesh, but thought I could see. And I slammed right into the back of his quad, and Grayson flew over the handlebars, flew off your quad. Your helmet like went flying.
I remember you hitting me, and I remember
Bro,
literally
it was
flying into
bad.
a bush. But I don't remember
It was really, really bad. And I
Dang.
was like so scared. And my dad like rode up next to me. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I like didn't tell anyone that I was looking out of the mesh of my helmet. I was like, "Oh no, my quad just like didn't break." But yeah, that was kind of a fun memory. Vacationing.
And then the one we were talking about earlier, we growing up, both Haley and Kylie, they played. You guys both played Sims a lot, right?
Yeah.
Sims,
years.
yeah, Sims on the computer was definitely had a hold on this family, and we brought a laptop to when we went camping, and they were playing Sims on the laptop, and they were making like really weird
Like you could
looking people.
distort people, like you could like slider bar, like make their nose really big.
Yeah,
Like we were literally like making like alien looking ass people.
yeah, like just like very like disfigured people. And for some reason, our mom came to check in on us, and we were like laughing, having a good time. And she saw like the alien disfigured people we were making, and she like turned
Full
around,
on passed
full on like passed out right in front of us, and we started screaming. Mind you, we're like maybe
We're like
12, 9, and
8.
6 at this time. And like we started screaming for help because we were like, oh my god, like what just
Like she
happened?
went and it made like the
It was
loudest
like
sound.
a
Like she
loud
cracked
thud.
her head.
Yeah, and it probably like we were at elevation. We were probably at that point a mile high as far as like elevation goes, and she like walked up steps to get to the trailer. So like that's probably what happened. But thinking back, like that was
We literally thought that our disfigured person like
that
sent her
caused
into
our
a
mom.
comatose.
Yeah, that's one of the more memorable like vacation things that comes to mind for me at least.
Yeah. Okay, next one. Also, is
Next
that
one.
the time that we've been going for?
Yeah, we're almost at
55?
an hour. Yeah, so we'll do one more question, then we'll call it. Actually, let me refresh.
Yeah, try and find a good one.
Yeah,
We
let's
might
see
have to
here.
do part 2.
Yeah,
Not me
that's
not
true.
wanting to get off the pod.
It's a lot of like podcasting is a lot of fun, especially when you get into a groove.
Yeah.
Let's see. A lot of these questions are kind of similar in the sense of like, what's your guys' favorite memory, and
Oh
what do
yeah.
you guys? What's something that happens? Um,
Okay, good one. Good one.
Ooh, this is a good one. Funniest story of picking on each other. Do you remember? I have one specifically that comes to mind. It was
I
when I
don't
was living.
know.
It was when I was living
I don't
with you
remember.
guys. So when I lived here for 8 months. This was during the same time, and this is really mean of me. Let me preface the story. This was during the time that the Idaho murderer was like out on the loose.
Oh,
For those of you who don't know,
bro.
the Brian Koberger is like in trial right now. But like when I was living here, that person was still like on the loose, and they were looking out for him. Haylee was terrified, like
Everyone was,
terrified.
bro.
Everyone
There's a
in
killer in
Idaho,
Idaho.
yeah, everyone in Idaho was terrified of like going anywhere because there was a killer on the loose, rightfully so. And so I thought it would be funny to we have Haley's house has like a long hallway that leads to like a bathroom. And so when you're at one end of the hallway, you can see into the bathroom. And so I thought it would be funny to stand at like literal middle of the night, right? Pitch black in the house, stand on one in the bathroom with a towel covering my entire body so you could only see my face, and I was smiling like a scary creeper person. And Haley, to go to bed one night, just comes around the corner and just sees this terrifying scary face in the dark, can't see, and she screams at the top of her
And
lungs
I
and starts
started sobbing.
starts crying. And didn't you pee your pants?
Yeah,
And
bro.
Peter
This was like
Pants.
last year or something.
Yeah, and this was
2 years ago.
no, dude. This was like 3 years ago.
Oh, I
Yeah.
lose track of time.
But yeah, that was one of the times where I memorable of me picking on you
Bro.
that I felt really bad about because
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
felt
intend.
really bad. It
Yeah,
was pretty funny looking back.
looking back, it's really funny, but I did feel really bad in the moment because I didn't think she would like start literally bawling, like sitting on the ground bawling. But yeah, I felt bad about that one.
My fault, AG, my fault.
My fault, EG. My fault.
Right.
Let's see.
3
Should we do
minutes
one?
left. Yeah, find a good one.
Yeah. I saw one
Baked
earlier.
beans. What?
Yeah, it's just this guy. He comments that every time I do a question
funny.
prompt. Um, let's see. Um, there was one. Oh, there was one about dating. Hang on, let me get into that. Does your sister give you dating advice?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Widowy all the time. So one thing about me, so I like really, 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 really wanted Grayson when he first started the podcast to like talk about all of the relationships that he's been in because it's interesting stuff. And he just won't because you're just a respectful king. He won't ever put disrespect on anyone's name, which I'm like, no, trash these for lack of better terms, Trash these hoes. They were the worst.
They weren't bad.
They were
We
horrid.
were just young and we didn't know what dating would actually meant. Okay,
Yeah.
let me just clarify.
Anyways, so I'm a very, very good judge of character. Girlfriend number 1, I said, bro, she's not it. What do you know? She wasn't it. Majorly. Like literally, okay. Girlfriend number 2, she was so not it. And Grayson literally FaceTimed me one day and was like, yeah, we're like talking about family planning and like I like think we're ready to have a kid. I literally was like, what? Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do,
I
bro.
don't.
You're like, yeah, I think we're like ready to start trying for kids. I was like,
There's no way I said this.
I literally
There's no way.
Yes,
I
there
would never
is,
try to have
bro.
a kid if I wasn't married.
Bro, you were saying some odd shit. And like, this is the girl that I never met. She couldn't show face, you know? She just no face, no face. And then when you were here, so one thing about Grayson is like when we lived together, like he would go out, obviously like with people, and he would come back and I'd be like, who are you all like who would you go out with? Oh, just a friend. And I'm like, well, who is it? And he would like show me and he's like, yeah, but we're just friends. And then like he would post a TikTok of like screenshot messages about how like they were hooking up. And I'm like, okay, so you're lying. G bring?
Oh my god, yeah.
Nobody will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
And he just like would lie to me and I'm like, bro, I know what you're doing. Like just tell me. I'm nosy, I want to know. Anyways. But yeah, he like you haven't really asked me about like anybody recently though.
No, I don't. I haven't really done.
Philly dating must be dry out there, dog.
I haven't done a ton of dating recently, just because of the move. But like, there was a while where like I was dating that girl at the end of last year that we dated for like 3 months, and I was like,
Oh yeah,
it was actually like getting like pretty serious. It didn't pan out,
pretty
obviously.
serious.
Didn't pan out, obviously. We went on like 8 dates, which
I
is
feel
to me,
like
which is pretty serious.
you're the problem.
Yeah, dog. That's the whole point of this. That's
like, just
my entire
find
thing.
somebody who's great and just pick them.
Hey, I've been trying. I'm the problem here.
I don't think he's been trying. Anyways, but yeah, totally. I will give him all the dating advice. I give great advice. I've been through hell and back dating and I found a perfect gem and he just still does not listen.
I certainly try. But yeah, it doesn't help when anytime I'm like, yeah, so like it didn't work out with this person. She's always like,
Yeah,
bro,
and like,
when is it ever gonna work out for you? And I'm like, dude, I'm trying.
well, like
okay?
a day before, he's like, yeah, like this girl's the one. Like, I really think it's. And then the next day, he's like, yeah, she ghosted me. And
God forbid I'm a hopeless romantic. Okay.
And then I'm like, why did she ghost you? And he'll show me his text. And I'm like,
yeah, I'm not good at texting.
No, bro, you're the worst.
I'm not good. I try to be funny too much, and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, and if they don't respond, you're like, my
Hey,
fault, OG. Like, you
yeah.
send another response.
Yeah.
It's like,
After a
bro, if
couple
like
hours,
somebody's
I'm like-
ghosting you, leave it at that.
Yeah, I know. I'm not good at that part, but
Yeah,
hey, we're learning. Well, we're over an hour already. Do you have any final thoughts?
So notice how when he has a guest on, he never once said nevertheless.
That's true. Well, I said it before, actually, right before we started.
Yeah, I was like,
accidentally.
bro, he doesn't say this in real life. But anyways, yeah, I think you should have more guests on.
I definitely should.
I think you should start banking episodes so you don't have to like every week be like, hey guys, my life is too busy. I couldn't put the podcast this week.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, now that I didn't realize that the tiny mics, they work and work. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously
and
we'll
it's
listen
not,
to this
like,
after, but like it's
uncomfortable.
really simple. Yeah, like it's an easy setup.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah. Please be kind to me in the comments.
You don't have to. She can take it. She'll be fine.
I won't read them.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
gonna
I
read.
will.
She's gonna read every
I will
single
read
one of
them.
them, bro.
I
She's
will.
literally gonna be like this, updating, refreshing as it comes in.
Do they like me?
But yeah, thank you guys so much. If you guys want to submit any questions or anything like that, please email happierpod@gmail.com. And with that, do you know the outro?
I do. I listen every week, but I'm blanking.
Okay.
Oh.
Dude, at the same time?
Wait. Hold on. I have to think real quick because it's kind of long.
It is kind of long, yeah.
I hope like this 1 hour was a happier hour.
Yeah, but you gotta do the whole thing.
Well, I don't know.
If you had 23 bad hours today,
I hope at least this 1 hour was the happier hour.
thank you so much for watching. We have been your hosts, Good night.
Good night.